Pysanka is putting wax on eggs and dye and making patterns. It uses a wax batik method to put images onto eggs, symbols onto eggs. The practice of Pysanka comes from Ukraine. So this is something that people have been doing for hundreds of years. It is a beautiful art form and a way to honor and remember the people of Ukraine, the history of Ukraine. My mom, Mary Felton, her maiden name is Shavinsky, taught us when we were younger, my sisters and I, every Lenten season in the Christian calendar, we would get to make the eggs, and it was always our favorite time of year. We always looked forward to that. I don't even remember when I learned, probably when I was, 7 or 8 years old. And my mom just taught us, and she gave us the basic skills, and then over the years I've continued to do the practice myself and learn more and expand those skills and learn from others in the community as well. When we were growing up, my mom would always invite people over to learn this. This was, if you talk to people who grew up with me in East Aurora, at some point or another, they probably came to our house to make Pysanka. We did it for Girl Scouts, we did it for, craft days at school, all kinds of things. And so I saw my mom doing a lot of that teaching to others, and it never really occurred to me that I could teach other people that. But I was asked by a family friend who happened to know that I did this as just part of our family tradition. And she asked me to teach a class, and I realized I loved doing it, and I loved watching people both learn the process and just become really excited about it. There's hardly anyone who walks away from the classes that isn't really happy with what they've done. You'll see a lot of lines, which sounds obvious, but a lot of the different lines and the way that you put them onto the egg actually create patterns that have meaning. So one of the most popular designs is something called 40 triangles. It's actually 48 triangles. I don't know why it's called 40 triangles, but the design itself is called 40 triangles, intended to represent some things in the Christian faith. And so that's one. You're also things like chickens, fruit, grapes, vines, all of those things. Part of the history of Pysanka was that people would put these symbols onto the eggs, and then they would give the eggs away. And the symbols on the eggs represented the blessing that you were giving to that person when you gave them those eggs. Another legend behind Pysanka is that the fate of the world depends on people making these eggs every year, and that there is an evil that is chained up somewhere, and that as long as people are making Pysanka, that evil stays chained up, and it allows things like love and peace to reign in the world. And so when I teach my classes, that's what I tell people as well, is you're contributing to love, to joy, to hope in the world. And you can do that in this 2-hour time frame when you're making this egg, and you can think about how you can do that in the rest of your daily lives. But I like having that moment. I like having people understand you're part of such a bigger tradition and history, and you can put the meaning behind this that you want. And I think now for myself, I feel that when I'm making it. Certainly there's been a lot of attention on Ukraine in the last several years, and so the more peace and love and joy that we can put into the world with our Pysanka, the better.